Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I may be recording this later in the day, probably more than I had anticipated. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, we only have, first of all, only 8 weeks to go until Christmas Day of 2024, and only 9 weeks to go until the beginning of RageCon 4. And if you excuse me for one moment, I might just say, oh dear Lord, what have I gotten myself into? Because in spite of the fact that we're closing in on the dead, whether or not I'm ready or not, I've got to get ready for this. And I can't tell you for the life of me, ladies and gentlemen, how nervous I am for the next couple of days, because I'd say for the next 4 weeks are going to be critical as to what this could actually mean, because among many things, there's still at least 100 or so videos that have actually got to be edited. There's about I'd say I could get at least 600 more videos made during this period, which means that again we'll pretty much be through the first 50 days of 2024 by my count, or at the very least we'll have some videos on some channels that will get us through to the very end of 2025, so we should be okay and sound off on that. But I'm still I still don't even know if I'm even close to reaching my goal, because to be honest, I am. And here's the thing, I said this on a community post a few days ago, but I'll bear repeating, is that for the first time since I've ever done planning for an event like this, I was so concerned that I was going to have a heart attack on Monday, that legitimately, I had to, when I was at work, I literally had to stop and take my pulse 2 or 3 times. That I generally have to just I tried to make it as discreet as possible, but I kept I was doing really shallow breathing, I had to make it look. You see, the thing I thought that was going to give me away is that if I was turning pale, something like that. But no, I managed to hold my own for as long as I could, and I don't really think anybody really noticed. So I hope that'll sort everyone out to the ground on that front. Meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen, there's still the fact that we've got well, here's the other big daunting aspect of this, is that tomorrow is the 31st of October, which doesn't really mean much in retrospect, but it does mean something for what's coming up after it, November. Now, for those of you who don't know, I'll just say right here and now, is that November, historically, at least for me at any rate, has been the single most important month of the year. It's been that way dating all the way back to 2015. So 9 whole years of November sticking out to me for its importance, for its context, as well as, when we get to November of next year, I'll be able to tell you the story about why that month strikes such a chord. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, and I really mean this for now, I've got to basically pull on the rope so hard that it's going to break. I have to push myself to the limit, and I mean absolutely to the limit. I've got to here's what I've got to do with everything combined for November. I've got to lose weight. I've got to get my bills and my finances sorted out. I've got to get Christmas sorted out for my family. I've got to get videos made and produced. I've got to start organizing in terms of thumbnails, descriptions, tags, the promotions for things like Instagram and Twitter and TikTok. All of that has got to be organized and ready by myself. Then I've got to concern myself with making sure that I can still have enough time to sleep and have enough time to, go to the gym and still actually start training for my run, my opportunity in the Great North Run next year. I think the reason, I know fine well what I'm probably going to be saying is that the reason why my heart was starting to skip beats is because I was like, I was not only nervous, but I was under a tremendous amount of pressure and stress, and that's maybe combined as well with maybe an average diet, I suppose, not necessarily spectacular, but average to say the least. Yeah, one thing is going to start dogpiling on another, and before you know it, if I'm not careful, like, I could do some serious damage to myself. And at this crucial juncture, well, I can't afford to. So, well, what's the optimal way of trying to get myself ready for the trials that are just on the horizon, but also giving myself, like, I mean, here's the thing. Supposing I literally did have to step away from doing videos because of my health. Suppose I have to, like, legitimately, like, step away from my work, just, like, my day job because of my health. How on earth am I going to relax? Because I don't really know how I'm supposed to relax. I legitimately, I know this is, like, nothing new, like, to those who've known me the longest, but relaxing is borderline something I just do not know how to do. Because, well, what do I do how do I relax? Do I just, like, lie in bed and just pass the time? Do I read read all my books from left to right? Do I do just something just completely for leisure? What is it? And whilst I think about that, there's still so many things I've still got to do. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to end in disaster before I can even spell it. However, it might be that it doesn't happen. What if I just get on with it like everything else? And, well, curious enough, since the budget came out today, I have to also just get on with it. You know what? That's how it is. And that's kind of how I've responded a little bit to the news about the budget earlier today, is you just sort of have to roll your sleeves up and get on with it. And, well, there we are. That should do it for now. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little update, and I cannot wait to talk to you guys again next time. So take care, and bye-bye for now.